0 swords out of 5. This is Sanshiro Sugata, aka Judo Saga, I guess, is an alternate title, but it is about a guy named Sanshiro Sugata who goes to this. He wants to learn. It's about like the kind of conflict between judo and jujitsu, I guess. I don't really know about the history of jujitsu. Maybe it's like some kind of like offshoot of judo. But anyway,
Well, I believe jujitsu came first. Judo, I realized after watching this movie, was only invented in the 1800s. I thought it was
okay.
a much older martial art than that.
I guess I'm getting that backwards.
I mean, the most notable thing about this movie is that it is Akira Kurosawa, and it's his first film as director, which
Right.
is a
I
big
was
deal.
trying to do a synopsis, but I stopped like
Um,
half a sentence in. um
Akira Kurosawa, who, for my money, probably one of the best directors ever, just of any of them.
yeah.
And this movie, not up to the level of his later work, but still pretty good. This feels like a Kurosawa movie, even if it is maybe the stakes are a little bit lower. I mean, are they even lower? There's still life and death in this movie, but it's about like a judo tournament or judo versus jujitsu, which I also think like this is kind of a martial arts movie, but it's kind of funny that it's a martial arts movie about judo, which is like the,
Kind of
the
a
most like defensive martial art, right? It's all like blocks and throws and trips and stuff.
right, except that the throws get real violent in this movie.
Very
Um
true. Yeah.
it
The
is
throws go hard.
yeah, like so Senshiro, it like he wants to become like, a good fighter. He is too headstrong and it kind of acts all cocky and starts beating people up when he's drunk in the street, and then his master is like, don't do that. You're very good at what you do, but you don't have the right discipline to do it right, and you better watch yourself, kid. And then he tries to show his resolve by sitting. He's like, I'm gonna kill myself. I'll show you how serious I am about what I'm doing. And then he jumps into a lake. The master goes like, fine, do it. And then he jumps into a lake and just hangs
It's like, all
onto
right, go ahead.
he hangs onto a stick, like almost at the precipice of it, but then he just like hangs there for an entire day, and then sort of like looks at a lotus flower in the lake and has like a sort of mental breakthrough, and then he becomes the proper judo or jujitsu guy, and then he kind of just fights some fights, and that's the story of this.
There's the whole tournament thing. There's all the drama with the woman and her dad, and he like doesn't want to fight because he's like, no, like she's so like invested in her dad winning this thing. Like I can't take that away from them.
Yeah,
And then there's like the fancy suit wearing jujitsu guy who's real upset that he's so good at judo.
that guy is a
And challenges
vibe.
challenges him to a fight to the death. And we get our big sort of like Kurosawa uh final fight in the windswept fields,
Yeah.
um which is great.
Yeah, once again, like, yeah, the Kurosawa is immediately making a Kurosawa movie. Like, this is not
Right.
like the and I think there are parts of this that, like you're saying, are not quite as refined as something like Seven Samurai, but like it's pretty well refined for a
Well,
first
I was
movie.
surprised at yeah, I was surprised at how many of the kind of what I consider to be like Kurosawa staples
Yeah,
are in this movie. Like it's high stakes, right? It's like by the end of the movie, it's like one of these guys is gonna die. It's about like fighting, right? Like a lot of Kurosawa movies have, fights or sort of, they're war movies, they're crime movies, they're action movies. And also just like the filmmaking of it is like it uses a lot of I don't know, it's like the editing is really good. The like use of
yeah.
weather is a thing that I associate a lot with Kurosawa movies of like how much like weather plays into different scenes.
We need 4DX Seven Samurai.
Yes, it's how much kind of like stillness there is in this movie and how like stillness
Yeah.
is portrayed.
I think honestly that is like one of the things that like works so well right out of the box with this movie is like the way that he is able to just build tension in these moments of stillness that just explode into motion.
Yeah.
And
And then
it's
slow motion also, a thing that I
yeah.
associate with a lot of later Kurosawa stuff is also used in this in kind of similar effect. There's so right, we were saying how the in Colonel Blimp they use the sort of like hunting trophies as like a way to show the passage of time. There's a great scene in this that shows the passage of time just by showing a lost sandal
Yeah.
getting sort of like kicked around and sort of like going through different weather and like in different places, like it's stuck up on a fence and then it's floating down a river and then it's like in the mud and then and that's just there to show like time passing, and it's just such a great, simple, effective, creative use of like filmmaking, just to be like, here's time passing but it's interesting, it's like you're watching the journey of this sandal.
Yeah, yeah, it's unique, certainly.
Yeah. As opposed to just having, a title card comes up that says, 6 months later. Boring. Something else about this movie is that it is partially lost. There's like 2 or 3 scenes that, um, were lost at some point between 1943 and the 1952 re-release, which is sort of the version of it that still exists.
Yeah, and I mean, well, this was a movie being made in wartime Japan, and so like this stuff was
Yeah.
censored, I believe. Like the things that were taken out might have had to do with stuff that the the emperor and his crew did not like.
Yeah. I did think about that while watching this movie too, because I mean, even like, I think some of the other early Japanese movies that we watched were still being made while Japan was like at war in China and things like that. So it's like people making movies in Japan. It is weird just to see how like sort of calm a lot of those like 30s Japanese movies are.
Hmm.
And then this too is like they're in the middle of a war, and it's like Kurosawa is just like, I'm just gonna make a judo nice little judo movie. Which I guess there was like oversight in terms of like what kind of stories I guess they were allowed to make movies of.
Right. I mean, I think that like, if you want to make movies, they've got to be kind of apolitical. I mean, this is kind of
Mhm.
touching on my senior thesis a little bit, but it's kind of like with Zhang Yimou in China, where like he used to make these really political movies and they got banned the second they were released. And he's like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm gonna make kung fu movies now. and yeah, I mean, kung. What is the kung fu movie if not the Chinese samurai movie?
Kind of. Also, this is a period piece. This is set in the 1800s. That I think also that contributed to like, the Japanese government at the time being like, no, it's okay. It's like it's olden times. We're fine with stories about olden times.
That's the same thing that happened to that last Japanese movie we watched, right? What was
Yeah,
that? What was
I
that
remember.
one?
I remember that one was the story of the last chrysanthemum.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's like period pieces. They were cool with like that. Which era of Japan is that called?
Was it Meiji? I
Like
think. I don't
late
know.
late 1800s. I don't remember. Yell at us in the comments. But yeah, it is kind of just a little wild just to think about like this being made. When it was being made, I guess. And it doesn't really seem like it. I mean, who knows what it was allowed to, maybe the scenes that are missing were maybe a little bit more topical or hot button. Who knows?
Hmm.
Um it doesn't feel like Imperial Japan is really playing any part in like the storytelling of this movie. It doesn't seem like this movie has anything to say about like the national, character, or the way in which like Colonel Blimp is so much about like Britain during wartime, and this movie is like completely disconnected from that.
Yeah.
Probably by necessity, but
This
like
this movie is kind of about as far as like what it is kind of telling you about like morals and like the person you ought to be. It's kind of pretty it feels like pretty typical Japanese stuff or at least like historical Japanese stuff of
mhm,
like these are the ways that you be a good person.
mhm.
These are the ways that you act rightly, such as don't get too cocky and listen to what your
Mhm.
judo master tells you to do. Yeah. This movie has a couple of really fun people in it. One of them is Takashi
Mhm.
Shimamura, who
Yeah.
is my favorite guy. Like kind of. I mean,
I mean, he's pretty great.
he's pretty great. He's the sort of main samurai in Seven Samurai, and just this cuddly old man who will also cut you in half. And
He's the lead in Akiru, right, which I haven't seen.
and he's also in Godzilla.
Yeah. So he is sort of like, 20th century Japan. He is like he's in all the like the big stuff, it
I
seems
just
like.
love his vibe too.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, it's like I look forward to seeing many more movies starring this guy cuz yeah, always a delight.
But soon we'll be getting to probably number one Japanese star of all time, Toshiro Mifune. Gotta love him.
Star of 1941.
What?
The Spielberg movie. Star of the worst Spielberg movie, 1941.
Oh, is he in that?
He is in that
Oh
for
wow.
some reason. Probably because Spielberg was like, "I love Toshiro Mifune, I wanna put him in a movie." And then it's like, "Here, you can be in my worst movie."
Is it worse than
I'm
BFG?
sure I think so, yeah.
Wow.
And I haven't seen Always, so, jury's still out on that one, I guess. That one I
Uh,
know is also not considered one of his best, but I haven't seen it.
there's also a character called Mama. I mean, I think I think his name is like
Yeah.
Moma or something, but in the subtitles, it's
In
yeah.
the English subtitles, it is just Mama. Did confuse me for a second.
Sanshiro gets it in his first tournament fight. He fights Mama and then just yeets him straight into the wall so hard that he dies. Which and then like
Yeah.
everybody screams. It's kind of hardcore
Yeah. Right, I don't think of judo as a, like, lethal form of fighting,
because
but I guess, right,
he's really
you
good
throw
at
someone
it.
hard enough into the wall, they die.
And then my only other note from this movie, well, two. There's a point where someone's ashing a cigarette into a flower, which is a very cool image.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, it's a great villain move,
yes, yeah,
right? Because
the
it's
big
like
bad villain does that.
yeah, which is like I almost kinda feel like I wanna steal that because that's such a, like, villain move to be like, not only are you smoking and ashing your cigarette, you're doing it into a flower. It's like it's so loaded, you know?
Yeah, especially because like a flower is sort of in this movie the thing that like you know takes the kind of rougher around the edges, not good Senshiro and turns him into the proper person.
Mhm.
And then also there's a point where someone is in pain and they go, "Here, have some opium to take the edge off."
I think I missed that part. Or
Unless he was
I
just smoking
it didn't
something. It looked like an
it
opium
didn't,
pipe.
it probably was. There was also right before the sort of duel to the death at the end, there's other guy who's sort of, I don't know, not officiating. I don't know what that's called, but he's like, "I just wanna say, like, for the record, dying is bad. You guys don't have to fight to the death." Like, just throwing that out there, which I feel like is, yeah, worth pointing out.